Hey everyone, good day. Today we're going to solve some ordinary differential equations and some of its applications. For today we have 5 problems to solve. So here is the first problem. Find a general solution of the following equation. This is equation 2 times the quantity xy plus x whose quantity y prime is equal to 1. So first let's write the equation. 2 times bxy plus x y prime is equal to y. Now y prime could also be written as dy over dx equal to y. So as you can see, this equation is a separable differential equation. So let's now try to separate it. 2x times y plus 1 dy is equal to y dx. So now let's put all the x's on the right side and all the y's on the right side. So it becomes y plus 1 over y dy is equal to dx over 2x. Now this could also be written, the left side could also be written as 1 plus 1 over y dy is equal to dx over 2x. So let's now integrate both sides. So it becomes dy plus y over y equal to 1/2 dx over x. Okay. So now it becomes y plus ln of y is equal to 1/2 ln of x plus c, or ln of c. So using the properties, it becomes y plus ln y equal to 1/2 ln x c. Now let's now transfer all the ln's on the right side. So it becomes y is equal to 1/2 ln xc minus ln of y. Now let's now eliminate the 1/2 by multiplying the whole equation by 2. So now it becomes 2y is equal to ln xc minus 2 ln y. Now 2 ln y could also be written as ln y squared. So now it's 2y is equal to ln xc minus ln y squared. Using the properties of ln's, it becomes 2y is equal to ln xc over y squared. So we're using the exponential properties. So y is equal to e ln xc over y squared. So it becomes e to the 2y is equal to xc over y squared. So now it's e to the 2y squared is equal to xc. So this is now the final answer. Now this is the second question. Determine if the following function is homogeneous. So this is the equation x squared plus y squared plus 1 all over xy plus 2. So first, let's write the equation. X squared plus y squared plus 1 is equal to xy plus 2. Now, let's determine if it's homogeneous. So let's multiply p on both the numerator and the denominator. So it becomes xp squared plus yp squared plus 3 xyp plus 2p. Now it's p squared x plus y plus p over p xy plus 2. Now you can see that the numerator is of second degree and this denominator is first degree. By the definition of homogeneous equations, these two should be of the same degree. However, it is not. So, therefore, we therefore conclude that this expression is not homogeneous. Okay, so now this is the third problem. Find a general solution for the equation y double prime plus the quantity y prime over x minus 1 is equal to x minus 1. So first, let's write the equation. So y double prime plus y prime over x minus 1 equal to x minus 1. So it becomes y prime. It also be written as 1 over x minus 1 times y prime is equal to x minus 1. So, you could see that this is a linear differential equation. So, first step is to treat the y prime as a dependent variable. So, the next step is to find the proper improper integrating factor. So, v is equal to e times e is an derivative of this. So, dx over x minus 1. This was from here. So let u be x minus 1 du equal to dx. So d du over u becomes e ln u, or then substitute the u, e ln x minus 1. So v is equal to x minus 1. This is our v. Now, so since now that we have the integrating factor, we're going to multiply it to the whole equation. So y double prime plus 1 over x minus 1 y prime equal to x minus 1. We're going to multiply the integrating factor to the equation, so x minus 1. So next step is y prime is 1, your dependent variable, times your integrating factor, x minus 1, is equal to the product of the right side, which is x minus 1 squared dx. So y prime x minus 1 is equal to, now let's represent this, let v rather equal to x minus 1, so dv will be equal to v. Substitute it, so it becomes v squared dv. So this one, it becomes v 3 over 3 plus c. So let's substitute it, so it becomes x minus 1 over 3 plus c. So x minus 1. So let's multiply 1 over x minus 1 to the whole equation. So y prime is equal to x minus 1 squared over 3 plus c over x minus 1. Now we're going to integrate both sides again. So that, because it's y prime and we need the y. So in order for it to be y, we have to integrate both sides. So now it becomes y is equal to 1/3 times the integral of x minus 1 squared dx plus of c over x minus 1 dx. Well, you could let the c out of the integral. So let w be x minus 1. So dw is equal to dx. Becomes 1/3 w squared dw plus c dw over w. So becomes 1/3 times w cubed over 3 plus c ln of w plus constant k. So we're going to substitute it now. The final answer would be 1/9 x minus 1 cubed plus c ln of x minus 1 plus the constant k. That's it. Okay, now, so this is the fourth problem. Find a general solution of the following equation. The equation is y prime is equal to y squared plus quantity 1 minus 2x, quantity y plus x squared minus x plus 1, wherein u is equal to x. Before we could solve this equation, we must show that if one solution say y is equal to u x of the Riccati equation y prime is equal to p xy squared plus qxy plus rx is known, then this substitution y is equal to u plus 1 over z will transform this equation into a linear first-order equation with a new dependent variable z. So, one solution of the Riccati equation y prime is equal to p xy squared plus q xy plus rx is known as y is equal to ux. By substitution of y is equal to u plus 1 over z, the equation can be transformed into a linear first-order equation with a new dependent variable z. So now, let's proceed to the problem. Given is y is equal to u plus 1 over z. That is, z is equal to 1 over y minus u. One can show the Riccati equation is a linear first-order equation by first, this is the first step, differentiating z with respect to x. So the equation becomes dz over dx is equal to, let's differentiate this one. So flow the diagonal, y minus u times 0 minus 1 times dy over dx minus du over dx is equal to 0 all over y minus u squared. It becomes now negative dy over dx plus du over dx all over y minus u squared, which is equal to negative dy over dx plus du over dx times 1 over y minus u squared, which is equal to negative y prime plus u prime z squared. So that is the first step. The second step would be substitution of expressions. So becomes now dz over dx is equal to z prime, which is equal to negative p xy squared minus q xy minus rx plus px u squared plus q xu plus rx. Multiply it all by z squared. With z is equal to 1 over y minus u, or that is y is equal to u plus 1 over z, which is also equal to z u plus 1 over z. So now it becomes z prime plus negative p x, substitute y, so zu plus 1 over z squared times z squared minus qx times zu plus 1 over z z squared minus r x z squared plus p x u squared z squared plus q x u z squared plus r x z squared. Now, z prime is equal to negative px z squared u squared plus 2uz plus 1 minus 2x times z squared u plus z minus r x z squared plus px u squared z squared plus qx u z squared plus r x z squared. So z prime is equal to negative p x z squared u squared minus p x 2uz minus px minus q x z squared u minus squared u minus q x z minus r x z squared plus p x z squared u squared plus q x uz squared plus r x z squared. Then the third step, so this is now the final z prime. The next step would be eliminating common terms. So now z prime is negative p x z squared u squared minus p x 2uz minus px minus q x. Okay, let's put it down. Minus q x z squared u minus q x z minus p x z squared plus p x z squared u squared plus q x u squared z squared plus r x z squared. So this is going to, so let's check first px, check the expressions. Z is px, qx, negative qx z squared u minus qx z plus px z squared plus px squared u squared u squared qx u, oh I'm sorry, uz squared plus rx z squared. So good thing we check the expression first before cancelling, because if not, well, it could become, let's say, disastrous if we won't double check the equations that we wrote, right? So this would cancel, as well as this. And then this is R. This this, this, and this. So what's left now is z prime is equal to negative e to the x 2u plus qx. So now it becomes z prime is equal to negative px 2u plus qx all over times it up, all over times it all with z minus p to the x. So this equation is a linear equation with z as an independent variable and z prime as an independent variable. And if you're going to examine it closely, it is a linear first order equation. So now we have this first order linear first order equation. So given this, we're now going to solve for the general solution for this equation. Y prime is equal to y squared plus 1 over 2xy plus x squared minus x plus 1, in which u is equal to x. So let's write the equation again that we have solved earlier. This is p x 2u plus qx z minus px. Now remember, for this equation, this is our working equation. So now from this equation, we're going to identify px, qx, and rx. So px is equal to 1. Qx is equal to 1 minus 2x. Rx is equal to x squared minus x plus 1. So applying the linear first order equation transformation of the Ritz-Cartan equation gives z prime is equal to negative 2u plus 1 minus 2u z minus 1. So this is going to cancel. So z prime is equal to negative z minus 1. So now it becomes z prime is dz over dx is equal to negative z minus 1. Now let's separate the variables. So becomes dz over negative z minus 1 is equal to dx. Now let's differentiate both sides. From ln z plus 1 is equal to negative x plus c. So we just transfer the negative sign on the other side. So e ln z plus 1 is equal to c e negative x. So z plus 1 is equal to c e negative x. So z is equal to c e negative x minus 1. So we have now this. Therefore, y is equal to u plus 1 over z. So let's substitute u is equal to x here and as well as the value of c. So the final equation is y is equal to x plus 1 over c e negative x minus 1. If you want to simplify it further, so it becomes y is equal to cx e the negative x minus x plus 1 all over c e negative x minus 1. So either with these will be your final answer. Okay, so this would be the last problem for today. It is an application of the ordinary differential equations. Now, a tank contains 100 gallons of brine in which 25 pounds of salt are dissolved. Brine containing 1 pound of salt to the gallon runs into the tank at a rate of 2 gallons per minute. The mixture, kept uniform by stirring, runs out at the same rate. What is the limiting value approached when the amount of salt in the tank as T increases indefinitely? When, if ever, will the amount of salt in solution be 20 pounds? So, this is a mixture problem. So, first off, let's assign some variables. So, let Q be equal to the total amount of salt in the tank at any time t. So dq over dt would be the rate at which q is changing. So dq over dt is equal to R in minus R out. Now for the inflow, it's the rate inflow, this minus rate inflow minus rate outflow. So the 1 pound per gallon is from the given minus times 2 gallons per minute minus R out. So let's cancel the gallons. Now let's solve now for R out. So R out is actually equal to the concentration of salt inflow times the output rate of the brine solution. So it will be Q over 100 pounds per gallon times the given the rate outflow, which is 2 gallons per minute. It's the same as we did with the problem. So cancel the gallons. So it would become 2Q over 100 pounds per minute. Simplifying it further, 50. So comes Q over 50 pounds per minute. So this is R out. So R out is equal to Q over 50 pounds per minute. Okay, so let's substitute it now to the equation. So dq over dt is equal to 2, the rate flow, minus rate outflow, which is q over 50. So dq over dt plus, let's transpose it to the other side, 1 over 50q is equal to 2. So now given a linear differential equation, so we're going to find out the appropriate integrating factor. So v is equal to e times the integral of this one. So it's 1 over 50 dt. So e 1 over 50 dt. So v is equal to e p, which is rather the integral of this, over 50. So this is now your integrating factor. So now we have the proper integrating factor, so we're going to multiply it to the linear equation. So dq over dt plus 1 over 50 q is equal to 2. So we're going to multiply the integrating factor. And then your dependent variable times integrating factor of the product of the right side. Going to integrate both sides. So let's represent u over 50. So let u be p over 50. So 50 u is equal to p. 50 du is equal to dt. Substitute it. Comes q times e over 50 equal to 2. Let the 2 out of the integral term. Then eu du times 50. So it becomes 50 times 2 eu du. So 100 e times substitute the u, e over 50 plus c. So let's bring down the EP over 50, so it becomes Q is equal to 100 plus C over E over 50. So it also be written as 100 for any time t, it is 100 plus C E over 50. So we now have this equation. The next step is to find the value of C. So to do that, we will substitute QP with the initial amount, which is 25 pounds. So 25 is equal to 100 plus C E T over 50. So when Q is equal to 0, so let's set E to 0. 0 over 50. Well, this is 0 over 50 is equal to 0, so this is 1. So 25 is equal to 100 plus C. So C is equal to 25 minus 100. So C is equal to negative 75. So let's substitute it now to the working equation. So Q C is equal to 100 minus, let's carry the sign, 75 over T over 50. Now, for the first question, what is the limiting value approached by the amount of salt in the tank as T increases indefinitely? So, when we say that T increases indefinitely, T approaches positive infinity. So, substituting it, it becomes 100 minus 75 over T infinity over 50. So, this is equal infinity over 50 is equal to positive infinity. Well, that's based on our math 61, right? So, as T approaches positive infinity, the value of this becomes smaller until it becomes smaller until it reaches around 0. So eventually it would become 100 minus 75 over positive infinity. This expression is equal to 0. So the limiting value is actually 100. And that's in pounds. So now let's answer the second question. When, if ever, will the amount of salt in the solution be 20 pounds? So regarding that, let's first examine the problem. So it was given that the tank contains 100 gallons of brine in which 25 pounds of salt are dissolved. So brine containing 1 pound of salt with a gallon runs into the tank at the rate of 2 gallons per minute, and the mixture runs kept uniform but still runs out at the same rate. So with that problem, we could imply that the only time in which the amount of salt in the solution would reach 25 pounds is during its initial time, that is when T is equal to 0. This T is equal to 0. Now, as Q increases, P also increases. So it could be implied that as time increases, the amount of salt in the solution it also increases. So therefore, it would be impossible for the amount of salt in the solution to reach 20 pounds because it needs dilution, contrary to the problem in which it gets more and more saturated. But to prove that, and if you want the solution, well, here it is. Qt equal to 100 minus 75 over T to the 50. So substitute the 20 pounds of Qt. Transpose. So E T to the 50 is equal to 75 over 100 minus 20. So E is equal to 75 over 80, or is also equivalent to 15 over 16. So ln E T 50, now, and 15 over 16. Sorry, 16 rather. So, t over 50 is equal to negative 0.06. So, t transpose is equal to negative 3. So, you see, there is no negative time, but however, we got a negative time. So, for this particular problem, it is impossible for the solution to reach, for the amount of solved solution to reach 20 times. Okay, so that ends our video tutorial. So that's all, and thank you for watching. I hope you learned something.